What's going on, Fit Fam? Just thought I'd stop by, give you an update. What's been happening this week? As of today, I am actually at 149. Can you believe that? I actually gained 9 pounds. And I don't, partially it's because I've been eating chocolate. Make chocolate, cheese. I haven't been really restricting my diet, let's just say. So, but I am back on the sardines. I'm starting, my wife actually got a new packet. It's a wild something. And so I'm giving it a try. This one has the skin and bones. Not bad, a little crunchy and stuff like that, but it's okay. So I'm gonna try that, and then go back and we're gonna do a test. Today is what? What is today? Saturday. I'm gonna do this for the next 7 days. We have no plans, so I will be home. I have 6 cans, no, 3 cans. I have 12 cans. Maybe I should do it for the next 4 days since I have 4 cans. But what I've been doing as of late actually has been I've been eat 1 can in the morning and then I would have a steak. And that could be it. Maybe too many calories. I haven't been working out, let's be honest there. And I've been actually actively working on my hackathon. So the hackathon, basically, I picked a project that seemed, oh, it's already almost 8 o'clock. I picked a project that seemed it was very easy to do. It was not easy to do, but it was a stupid problem. And what it is I'm working with the accounting department. They have a bunch of forms. Some are in Excel. Like, I don't know how you would create a form in Excel, but then others are in a PDF and blah, blah, blah. And there's places they can't find forms. So what I'm doing is I'm collecting the forms and going to create an app that puts all the forms in one place and the ability to throw up. Now, this is on lease agreements. So be able to throw up a lease agreement into the actual app. And it should, by theory, haven't tested this out yet. We're still working on it. But by theory, just extract the information it needs for that particular form and then fill in the blanks. And then the user would then put in their name and blah, blah, blah. That's as simple. That's a simple solution, but that's what we're trying to build. So that's what I'm trying to build. So we got this, and this is what I'm telling you. I am not a coder or developer, but AI is so good that you have your coder and developer right there for you. So it'll work on the UI. You just have to know, just go, hey, I think there's one instance where, so the form is you have a submit button, it creates a PDF, and then it opens up your email to send the PDF. Unfortunately, it's not attaching the PDF. And that's probably because it has to have an email client or anything. So I'm gonna look into that anyways. But what happened was the PDF would make it, and some of the text was actually going off the page. And I was like, well, what's up with that? So then you just go back in the AI and say, hey, the text is going off the page on an export a PDF on this form, fix it. That's what it is. That's all it is. I mean, that's my way of hacking. I'm just telling machine what to do. So that's what I've been doing there. What's happening in the world? You know, I came across this and I was wondering if your name is Karen or you have a last name Epstein, do you feel a little tarnished? Because actually know someone. Her name's Karen. But when the whole Karen thing came out, she didn't want to be called Karen because she didn't want to be associated with that negative connotation, which I get. I mean, what are you going to do? So she goes by a nickname. But I think it's kind of strange how the stigma sticks to it. Like, my name's Joe. I don't know. There's been really bad Joes. There's been good Joes. I don't know. I just go by Joe. So I'm kind of curious. Are you one of those people? Like, is your last name Epstein? Do you know someone with the last name Epstein? Has that become an issue? Do you know someone named Karen? I mean, I know people are Karen. They didn't change their name, but just the slang, I mean, it's like, what is it? Mojo's a slang. A cup of Joe is a slang. Joey. I've had people call me Joey. I have no idea why that is, but it is what it is. It doesn't bother me. So, just kind of curious. All right. Today's affirmation is be yourself and it'll pay off. That's it. Be yourself, it'll pay off. Find out. Now, the issue with that is a lot of people don't know who they are. A lot of people don't know how to be themselves. They don't know what they like. And that's one of the advices I've given to guys is if you're dating, take a year and just be by yourself. Figure out who you are so you can be yourself. Because once you know who you are and you maintain that and you have that structure, you don't become a pansy, then it's going to pay off in the end. You'll get what you want. You'll find what you need. It always works out that way. I don't know anyone who is not themselves that is not happy, you know? I think, but you have to find yourself. I think that is the key that a lot of people don't know how to do. And it takes patience, it takes diligence, it takes courage, which is, I mean, that's a lot, right? Because think about this. We grow up as children trying to please our parents. And then as you start in your teens and your 20s, then you start dating. And what do? Both men and women, we try to please the other person. Well, and then you get to that point, and then you get locked in a relationship, and all you're trying to do is please them, but you don't feel fulfilled, you don't feel whole, and it's just a messed up system. And then you get a job, and your job is what? To do a good job, to please your manager. And then you do that. And then and then when you get married and have kids, well, then you're like, you turn into a jerk because you don't want to please anybody. And you're especially not going to please that 3-year-old. Well, I think it's different when you get to a point, if you can find a way to take some time to figure out who you are and not have to worry about pleasing everybody. People pleasers, right? You've met them, you've seen them. Maybe you are one. I used to be one, I think. Dating. That's what it was. I was the nice guy. I was the nice guy that in the beginning that was not the the pick, right? Because oh, he's too nice. He's like a brother. Yeah, I've heard that too many times. So when you move forward, and then I've learned to kind of be myself, which could be interpreted as being a jerk at some points in time. I think there's I think this bad boy mentality, which I did, yes, I was one of those guys that was like, oh, maybe I need to be a bad boy. But that's not it. That's not it at all. You got to have courage, confidence in being yourself. That's because if you think about the bad boys, they don't give a shit. They just are who they are. And that's the same thing. They're being themselves. Maybe they're putting on a tough guy persona, but I think that's where that phrase kind of merged into that. And in reality, it's just being yourself. You know, you could, if you don't put up with that, don't put up with it. If you don't want to go in there, don't do it. There's times where I said no to a lot of things. Took a girl home, wasn't into her. She wanted me to come in. I said no. She started taking off her shirt. I said no, no, thank you, and left because I was not there. Plus, she was drunk. That was the other thing. But there are things in life that once you figure out who you are, then what you like and what you don't like becomes so much clearer and so much easier to say no. So I think that's one thing that in our marriage, my marriage, now, not ours, my marriage has today is that I can be myself. I don't feel pressured to go hang out with the in laws. I don't feel pressured to go do this activity. I don't feel pressured or guilt ridden. There's no guilt in our family. We do what we do, how we want to do it. That's how we do it. That's how we live our life. And it's so much easier, so much lighter. And sure, people will meet me. I mean, I do it with my mom, my parents. My mom expects a certain thing. I can't always bow to her knee. If I'm busy, I'm working, I can't just do it. I can't just at a beck and call. So, and I know there's guys out there who have great relationships with their mother and everything. Perfect. Great. Do whatever you need to do. That is just not me. All right. I want to know, there's another thing I've been curious about because growing up, I've been mistaken for different Asians, right? And I get it. Black hair, the eyes, brown eyes, the skin, the height, all that. You get mixed up. But what I've noticed is that Caucasians, they do the same thing. Like they look similar to me as well. I think there's been a couple of posts where people have, if you look at Hollywood, for instance, you see these actors that have very similar looks. But I see normal people. I'll go out on the street and be like, God, do I know that person? They look so familiar. And then what it is, the pattern that they have on their face or what they look like is like looks like someone else I know or looks like someone else I've seen, which is really bizarre. Does anyone ever have that? Or is that like a conspiracy theory thing? I don't know. But some people just everyone looks like everyone else. I don't know what that means. It's kind of weird. We're living right now in a crisis mentality. The religious people are saying it's the end times, AI is taking over. You have all these data centers going up. They're drinking up the power, they're drinking up the water, keep everything cool. You ever get to a point where you see like the Iran war, all this stuff, all this chaos? Well, how do you approach that? What do you look like it? For me, my weirdness has always been, there's probably going to a movie about this. Epstein. They're probably going to make a movie about that. What is it? Osama bin Laden. They probably made a movie of that, right? 9/11. There's documentaries. Maybe there's that. I don't know. I don't know what the protocol is, the authority is, but like they've made a lot of movies about really tragic things. And that's what kind of goes in my head is like, oh, they'll probably make a movie about this because it's so bad. But, anyways, that is some of the questions I have for you. I'm just curious on what you guys think because I feel like we got to find like minded people. There you go. I think there's another thing. I just watched a video. Oh, and BBL. I didn't know what BBL meant. And I found out it was like a Brazilian butt lift. No clue. I didn't know that was a thing. Well, I guess Kardashians, I guess they do it. I knew they did something, but I didn't know that was common. And maybe that's because that's where it started. I have no clue. I know it's a Brazilian. Maybe it's a Brazilian. I don't know. I've heard of guys getting pec implants. I've heard of guys getting calf implants. I haven't heard of six pack implants, but I've heard chisel where they suck out the fat so that it looks like you have a six pack. Come on. But yeah, that's just me rambling. So tell me what's up. What's going on, folks? Keep it real. That's all we're going to do. Keep on, keep on.